Shabbat Shalom. Welcome back to Take Time for Torah. I'm so glad that you've joined us. This week we begin the new book of Leviticus, or as we call it in Hebrew, Vayikra. And Vayikra as a book is a holiness code. It will set out for us over the next several weeks the temple rituals, it will set out for us the laws of kashrut. It will also set out for us the laws between man and man, how we treat one another. And I think about this, why does it start with sacrifices? And even more so, why is there a custom of Eastern Europe where they would traditionally begin children's learning by placing honey on the letters of Vayikra? The honey on the letters, I understand, that children should imbibe the Torah with sweetness, that all of us should take in the Torah and absorb it with the sweetness and joy of life. But why Vayikra? And I think the important reason is that Vayikra starts with sacrifices. But those sacrifices are not just any ordinary sacrifices. They're sacrifices for specific deeds. But even more so, when you read the sacrifices, you understand that there is a sliding scale of sacrifices. Not everyone was in a place, an economic, spiritual, social spot where they could offer the same sacrifice. And the Torah recognizes that each individual needed to offer that which was theirs to God. In a sense, it was for reminding people that they have personal responsibility no matter who they are. The word sacrifice in Hebrew is karban, the root word karev, which means to come close to be brought close to God. And I think also to come close to community. So this reminds me of this week. With great sadness, we saw the horrible tragedy of a parent, a teacher, and 3 children being shot down by a terrorist, and more people injured. How terrible it is. The question is, what do we do in response? And my reading of Vayikra is that instead of meeting violence with more violence and more hatred, we instead teach that we meet this kind of violence with appropriate and just behavior, that we act as moral individuals, and by taking on personal responsibility to teach people that we respect one another, to teach people that we care for one another, and that we have compassion for one another. That does not mean to let those who do evil get away. It does not mean that we give up on the idea of an eye for an eye or a life for a life. But what that does mean is that we have a personal responsibility to teach love and mercy and justice. As a matter of fact, the prophets, if you read the prophets closely, they talk about why would you offer sacrifices? God doesn't want our sacrifices. He wants our commitment. He wants our involvement and our intention. And that's exactly what Vayikra teaches us. When we offer sacrifices, most precious parts of our lives to God, we are not just offering that. We're not just going through the ritual. We are also bringing into it ourselves and taking our personal responsibility to treat others with respect, to treat others with love and with mercy, and to understand that God doesn't want just our perfunctory prayers or our perfunctory rituals. God wants us to treat others with mercy. We are all God's children, and we need to take care of each other and to teach others to love each other and to take care of each other. But we also need to mete out justice in a way that's appropriate, that's moral, and is right. So this Shabbat, we are deeply saddened at the loss of life. But it should galvanize us instead to go out and teach mercy and love and care and respect for those who are other than us, those who are different from us, those who think differently from us, and teach that all of us can live in this world together with shalom, with peace and wholeness. Shabbat Shalom. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Shalom.